Hi, this is Jana. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making pastry bear claws, just like you get at the bakery, your favorite bakery, the almond flavor with almond paste. And so I've got my Cuisinart here, food processor. And one thing I've learned is if it's appropriate for the recipe to spray everything because it helps clean the bowl. I get everything out of the bowl. Set that aside so I don't tip it over. Okay, I have at your grocery store normally buy the baking supplies like pie fillings and graham cracker crusts and everything. Normally on the top shelf or somewhere is almond paste, okay? And so this is an 8-ounce package. It says 8 ounces. And so there's other brands. Erin has seen at a grocery store she used to work at, and it had a little bear on it.
That made out of the almond paste.
Yeah. And so it comes in a little foil package inside of that cardboard box. And you would, for this recipe, you only need half, but I'm making a double recipe, but I'm telling you the ingredients for a single batch, okay? So 4 ounces, even though I'm putting in 8, you're gonna do 4 ounces of almond paste and break it apart. Just kind of helps get things moving along. And then 1/4 of a cup of butter, which is a half a stick, okay? Once again, I'm putting in a whole stick, but you only need to put in half a stick. I'm wiping my fingers off here. And then we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of sugar, just like that. So I'm going to put on my lid, turn on my machine, and I'm going to pulse this. It's going to start to make a dough. I'm going to let it run for just a second. See, it's all mixed together, the butter, the sugar, and the almond paste. And then you're going to take 1 egg in a cup and you're going to whip it together, and then you're going to pour in half of the egg into this mixture. But since I'm making a double batch, I'm just putting in 1 whole egg. But you're going to put in a half of that egg, but save the other half of the egg because you're going to need it for brushing the top. So I'm going to, oh, and then I've got, forgot my tablespoon of flour, 1 tablespoon of flour. So I'm going to make get a nice little filling going here. You can do this if you don't have a food processor, you can use your mixer. See, look at that, beautiful. And I got to scrape down the sides of my bowl, as we always talk about. Very important to get all the ingredients in. There's our flour, some flour up there, a little bit of sugar. We're going to just make sure everything's incorporated for the best outcome. Ooh, smells good. I love almond. Okay, there we go. I'm going to scrape this into another bowl and we will be right back. Welcome back. I'm here. Anyway, I've got some puff pastry. You find it in the freezer section by like the Cool Whip and the pie crusts and all of that. Make sure it's the sheets, not the cups, okay? And so I've floured my board here. I don't want my pastry, puff pastry. Got a little too much. I'm gonna shove it off to the side there. And in each package, there are 2 sections, and they're separated by just like that. And then there's another one. Try and keep these cold. Puff pastry needs to be cold to work with it and for it to rise good. And so when you open it up, you're going to see that there are 3 sections. Can you see, Aaron? I don't know if they can see that or not, but there's 3 sections right there. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to go down each section. Just like that, okay? Put 2 of them off to the side. I'm going to save one of those papers so they don't stick together, okay? And so now we're going to...
It's moving it.
Oh, okay. Karen can't see. I can't see her camera, so... Anyway, and so now I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of the filling and put it on 1/2. This is just about 2 tablespoons, not quite, so. And I'm going to spread it to 1/2. Just like that. And then I'm going to fold this half over. This one was cracked, but it'll be okay. And now you take your fork and you seal and crimp those edges. Just like that. And so then I'm going to take my knife go a little bit higher. Just like that. And then we're going to put them on my sheet here, and I'm going to spread them out just a little bit. Okay? And spread them out on your baking sheet. And I'm going to do some more of these, and then we're going to come back for the next part. Okay, we're back. And that other half of the egg that I told you about, and so you mix the egg together, and I put just a few drizzles of water so that it's a smooth consistency. You don't want to put too much water in, okay? Then I have a pastry brush here, and I'm going to lightly brush my bear claw with this egg wash. And what that's going to do is it's going to help our toppings to stick, and it's going to help the color of the bear claws. These are so easy. This is something you can, work with your children on, and they can easily help make these bear claws. Be a nice family tradition, and better than going to the bakery. You made them yourself.
And kind of gives it a glaze too.
Yes. And so I'm going to get this on here and really work with cold pastry, because it's frozen. And don't let them thaw till being warm, because they don't rise up as nice. My dough got a little bit warm here, so I'm hoping that it's going to puff up nicely. I left one of them in the refrigerator, so hopefully it'll do good. And if you notice on my bear claws, as I was cutting them, I was just doing them, the first couple I did to what looked good to me, and then I realized bears don't have 6 toes. I don't think they have 6 toes. And so then this side of the tray has 5-toed bears. And so I've got some sparkle sugar, and you can just use regular granulated sugar, but this is like a coarser grain sugar.
Decorative.
Yeah, and it's sparkly. You can order it on Amazon. I think it's in my cart, in my storefront, I mean. I have a lot of things in my cart, always. In my storefront, I meant to say. These are so good and almondy.
Mr. Janice Kitchen's gonna love this.
Yeah, Mr. Janice Kitchen's gonna love it for sure. We haven't had brunch or breakfast yet on this morning. And so then I've got some sliced almonds. And just sprinkle some almonds on them. So we got our almond paste inside. And so I'm going to pop these in my preheated 400-degree oven, and they're going to bake about 18 to 20 minutes. Every oven's different, and we'll be back when I pull these out of the oven. Okay, we're back, and we're going to make our glaze. So you're going to need 1 1/4 cups of confectioners or powdered sugar, and we're going to slowly add 3 tablespoons of milk. You can always add more, and then a teaspoon of vanilla.
Because you can't undo watery powdered sugar.
You got that right. And we want it to be a glaze, not a frosting, okay? So it's going to be thinner, but see, it's going to, looks like it's too dry, but pretty soon it's not going to be too dry. So we just drizzle, drizzle. Stir it to get all the lumps out of it. And so this is more like an icing. And so you want to keep adding slowly more milk. If you need to, you can use water, but traditionally we use milk or cream. Almost. It's got a few lumps in there, so I'm going to keep stirring it like this. I should have sifted my powdered sugar, I guess. I didn't sift it. Note to self.
Might have to tap out some of that powdered sugar in the...
Yeah, in the whisk. See, now it's starting to get more like a glaze. See? I'm going to add literally a maybe 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to pour it in the cup because I can control it there.
Good cup.
Like, I mean, that much makes a difference. And it'll thicken up if it sits for a few minutes. And you want to put the glaze on when they're still warm but not hot. There we go. And we'll be back when these are warm out of the oven. Okay, we're back. And our puff pastries are out of the oven. Got my glaze here. Just checking, make sure it's still moving around good. So it'll drizzle. And then you just lightly drizzle or heavily drizzle, whatever your family likes.
Sorry, my tires are messing with the rug.
The rug's making your camera move.
Go off-roading a little bit.
And so you just drizzle away here. And this will harden since it's just a glaze. Look at this. And then if you want to, if you don't like toasted almonds, you don't have to put the almonds on until after they're done. If you don't like them toasted like this, I like the flavor of them being toasted very much. But if you don't, then just put your almonds on at the end. And it's so important to keep your puff pastry dough not warm, that it's cold. So while you're working with the first section, if you want to keep the second section in the refrigerator, that would be great. And that way, until you get the hang of it, you go through and put a little extra on. So pretty. Just like that. And if you desire, go through and put a few extra almonds on. Do that. Never have too many almonds. Thank you for stopping by Jana's Kitchen. I appreciate it. And you can't probably hear him, but Mr. Jana's Kitchen has already taste tested from the other baking sheet, and he has said very good. So he is a happy camper and his tail is wagging. Thank you for stopping. Come back soon.